My fellow Caymanians and residents, sadly, over the past week, the country saw Premier Panton disrespected, challenged, and outvoted in Parliament by his PACT members. It will have surprised very few of you that the division and disarray that characterize a PACT government have once again been on full public display in Parliament over the past week. Those divisions have been very evident from the beginning. The evidence has been clear to all of us as internal arguments have reached beyond the walls of the government administration to be seen on public billboards, read in the newspapers, and heard on radio talk shows. All of us must acknowledge the negative impact that such disagreements have on the functioning of a government and its ability to deliver for the citizens it serves. This dysfunction is why the PACT has delivered so little over the past 2.5 years. So, last week was not a good showing for the Premier and his government. Finally, the Premier's lack of leadership was brutally exposed in the resignation speech made by Dwayne Seymour, Member of Parliament, as he left the government last Friday evening. The reality he exposed was one of continual infighting and disunity, with the Premier increasingly isolated and the government unable to agree on a budget for the next 2 years. And with Mr. Seymour's resignation, doubts swirled about whether the PACT government would survive. One news outlet reported, I quote, "Government members were locked in behind closed doors talks for much of Monday as Premier Wayne Panton sought to hold on to his slender grip on power amid divisions over spending priorities." Depending on whom you listen to, ministers spent Monday trying to pull the government apart or paper over the cracks again. The government must be made to understand that what the country needs is not colour-coordinated ties and outfits worn for the day in Parliament, but properly coordinated policy and decision-making that is in the best long-term interests of our country. I fear that government is in such constant turmoil that it is simply incapable of making the decisions that the country needs. The progressives in opposition will continue scrutinising and challenging the PACT government. We will work with the 2 independent opposition members of Parliament as necessary to achieve change and prevent harm where possible. That is the job of an opposition in the Westminster system. And we will also continue to promote policies and actions that we believe are in the best interest of Cayman and its people. In recent weeks, we have set out what we would do on key issues facing our country, on crime, housing, and the cost of living. That is the job of a government in waiting in the Westminster system. Thank you for listening to me, and may God continue to bless these beautiful Cayman Islands.